It's me, Cadence Whispers, with my brand new Oracle deck, and I wanted to do just a little bit of a mini reading using the cards, just to kind of test them out and see how well they're working. So I'd really appreciate your feedback on this one. So the reading I'm doing is 5 different piles this time, and it's for what is going on in your relationship right now. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So just center yourself, think about your relationship at the moment, or if you've just come out of a relationship, for example, and it's just, excuse me, really a guide of what's going on at this time and where it's going to. So there's 2 cards in each pile. Just again, because I wanted to really use these cards and just wanted to use them on their own merit first without the tarot, and then eventually I will link them in with tarot. So I'm going to start with pile 1 first. So here we go, pile 1. We've got routine bites hard and never change. So for you guys at the moment, I feel like what's happening is you're kind of stuck in a cycle in your relationship where, it just kind of feels like it's always the same thing going on over and over again. So whether that's you constantly arguing or whether you're just stuck in a routine and it's not exciting anymore and you're just doing the same thing over and over again, it just feels like you're repeating the same pattern and it's not constructive and you're not really moving away from it. And it's just what the message really here is to kind of try and pull yourself out of that routine, just change things if you can. If you're arguing, try and take a different route, just to try and look at things differently. But it's saying never change. So I feel like at the moment you feel like literally nothing ever changes, and sometimes that can be good, sometimes it can be bad, and in these circumstances I just feel like it's really hitting you hard and you're struggling to find a way forward to actually be able to move yourself out of this cycle and find a way forward. I'm actually going to get another card for this one just to see what is going on. Okay, so we've got Beautiful War as well. So with this Beautiful War card, what it's saying to me is I feel it's more a case of you're arguing at the moment. You're constantly in this cycle of fighting, making up, and nothing seems to change. Nothing ever gets resolved. But the thing is with love, it is a beautiful war because, you might fight, but all of the time you're fighting for a good cause, you're fighting for your relationship, you're fighting for, your love, essentially. So even though sometimes it feels like things never change, there's a specific reason behind that. You're fighting for your love, and for example, with Beautiful War, it comes from the song Beautiful War by Kings of Leon, and the chorus says, and I say love don't mean nothing unless there's something worth fighting for. So essentially, you are fighting for something, even though you are stuck in a cycle. I feel like it's kind of a karmic pattern that you need to break free from, but essentially the things that pull you apart are also what bring you together. So it's finding a balance in between those and really breaking out of that routine of being angry at each other and using it to do something more constructive within the relationship. So sometimes routine is necessary in everything that we do, and some people handle it better than others. Some people really struggle with routine and they create drama because they get bored, and I feel like in order to never change is saying as well, you're reluctant to change who you are, you think you shouldn't have to change for your partner, and your partner is in exactly the same place because they think they don't have to change. But you have to find common ground, and you have to break out of the cycle of never changing, because change is a huge important thing, and the never change card, sometimes it can be positive, as if saying someone is saying to you, oh, never change. But with the routine bites hard and the beautiful word, it is indicating to me here that changes are needed. And, this is just a temporary state, you saying it never changes, because I do feel like you're moving forward into a place where you're realizing what it is that you are actually fighting for. So it is going to be worthwhile in the end. Okay, so that was pile one. I hope you guys like that. If you've got any comments or feedback, please let me know. But I'll be moving on to pile two now. Hey there, guys, we're on to pile two now. I've added another card on top as well. I just felt like these needed an extra card within them. So we've got The Voice Inside My Head. It's based on the song I Miss You by Blink-182, and it says, don't waste your time on me, you're already the voice inside my head. Soul Contract, and then we have Give and Take. So I feel for you guys at the moment, you're in a twin flame or soulmate relationship where, there's things that you have to teach each other. There's things you have to learn, as well as obviously being so deeply in love. Like, I really like this because it's saying, don't waste your time with you're the voice inside my head, and they carry this through to death, and it, with the soul contract, it shows that it's an eternal bond. But with all soul relationships, there's things that you have to learn. With twin flames, for example, it depends really if you're in the stage where you're in your final lifetime together. So it's really about getting those things out of the way that you haven't done in previous lives. So whether it would be having children, getting married, actually being together, it's really about what is needed at the moment in your connection. And I feel like a big thing in your connection is learning to give and take, because I feel at times maybe you take each other for granted, you take the relationship for granted, you feel, because I feel like your partner thinks that because they know that they're the voice inside your head, that they don't have to give as much because they've already made an impression, and vice versa. But the important thing is, regardless of how much you love each other, give and take is a really important thing, because a lot of relationships break down because there isn't enough give and take. And, it's really about finding a balance and honoring your soul contract by being true to each other and appreciating each other, the way that you were intended to do, because this is a very, very special connection. It's one that transcends normal human level of understanding and love. And the voice inside my head as well is about telepathic messages. So, to a degree, you probably do communicate with each other telepathically. But even with that, it's still easy to take too much or give too much. It's very easy to do, because that's our human ego coming into it, on the soul level. This is human mistakes that need to be cleared before, sort of the soul level things can really come into play. So it's saying right now, you need to rebalance the give and take to make sure that your soul isn't being neglected, and the soul contract that you've entered into with this person isn't being neglected because of the give and take. Okay. I'm just, to a degree, all relationships you enter into, there are contracts of some kind, but soul contracts are different because they were written before you even manifested into this life. They were written thousands and thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago, whenever these patterns started forming. So, you need to honor this. And if you're not doing what they're telling you to do, you're not honoring it, and you're going to just keep finding yourself in the same sort of repetitive patterns and situations all the time, and they don't want you to do that. So they're literally saying, "Hey, look, it's give and take. You and your partner need to learn and give and take from each other adequately, and then the real 5D stuff can begin." Okay, so that's part 2. Okay, we're on to part 3 now, guys. So the first one is piece by piece. Running circles in my head. Love will tear us apart. Okay. I think for you guys, you're going through a difficult time at the moment, so you may be in a situation where you've just broken up with someone, or you're just in a really rocky patch in your relationship at the moment, and everything that's transpired is, is just running circles in your head. And this is from the inspiration for this is from a song by Yumi at Six called Fireworks, and there's a bit of the chorus that goes, "And I don't know who I am when you're running circles in my head." And I guess it's true in a way, because when you're so focused on another person, you kind of forget about yourself, and you forget who you are because you're so focused on, everything that's going on with them. And, if they're like consuming all your thoughts, you can kind of forget to take a step or eat and things like that. So it's literally about being so consumed by someone, and there's 3 hearts here. So I feel like you're just completely shattered at the moment by everything that's going on. And with the piece by piece, the positive side of it is, someone's picking up your pieces, putting you back together when with positive cards. But with these cards, what it's indicating is your heart is completely shattered. You're trying to keep yourself together, and love will tear us apart. It's a very famous song. I'd be very surprised if you didn't hear it, but it's basically saying sometimes when you love someone, it can kind of tear you apart, because if you're growing apart, or you just don't agree on the same things anymore, and it can tear you apart when you're in a situation where you don't feel like it's working, you've given it everything, nothing seems to be working, and you're just feeling out of control, and it can break you apart, and these two go really well together, because the heart's crying and then it's completely shattered, like it's like glass. So I feel for you at the moment, it's a real period of trying to heal and trying to just, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and carrying on. And, and I know you're finding it difficult because this person's running through your mind all the time, and you can't put one foot in front of the other at the moment without thinking about them, and everything's making you feel sad because it's just reminding you of them, and you can't eat, you can't sleep. And you're just wondering, is this pain even worth it? If you're still together, you're wondering, is the relationship going to break down? If you're on your own, you're wondering if it's ever going to be worth loving anybody again. So it's a really kind of painful time for you. And, I encourage anyone actually who is going through a breakup or a rough time in a relationship to listen to Fireworks by Yumi at Six, because the messages in that song are just amazing. And if you want to get depressed but in a really beautiful way, listen to Lewis Capaldi's Somebody You Loved. But that's your preference. But listening to music does really help as well. Music was my big inspiration in this deck, and it does really help when you go through heartbreak to listen to songs, because it can help you kind of grieve and relief in a way that somebody else has had that kind of pain, and they can express in words what it is that you're feeling. Sometimes we're not able to do that, but I feel like piece by piece you will get over this, you will recover, you will be a complete whole person again. You just have to go through this pain to get to the really good stuff. As cliche as that sounds, that really is the case. And I really hope that you guys are feeling better soon, and that you will get through this, and you have people there to love and support you. You just need to speak to them and allow them to help you pick yourself up off the floor. Okay, so that was pile 4, guys. Okay, so this is pile 4. So we've got maybe. Okay, the story with these cards is I ordered a deck of cards, but I only made, I think it's 27 cards, but I only made 24, so I had to improvise, and I just thought doing yes, no, maybe cards may be a good idea. We've got freedom and patience. So I kind of feel you're in a situation at the moment where you're deciding whether you want to be free of the situation that you're in or waiting around, and that's why this maybe's here, because you can't really make up your mind what you want to do, so you're kind of just waiting around to see if the decision's going to be made for you, if it's going to be made easier, so you're kind of stuck between wanting to run away and waiting around, and that's really like an awful position to be in, because at least when you've made your mind up, whatever the consequences are, you can deal with them. When you kind of sat on the fence, it's annoying because you're having to weigh up both scenarios in your head and you don't know which one's worse. And I feel, maybe you always struggle to make these tough decisions, and, it may be a case of that you're weighing up two different people, and or it could be, you're considering giving somebody another chance, so being patient or just letting them go, or it could be a case of in your relationship, you're waiting for your partner to change or to fulfill their promises, and you're kind of wondering if it's going to happen. Some days you feel, oh, I should just let them go, they're not worth it, and then other days you're like, no, I should give them the benefit of the doubt, they've had a lot of things going on, etc., etc. So you're kind of constantly stuck between these two thought patterns, and you're just not really getting anywhere with it at the moment, and that's why the maybe is hovering. And I feel like maybe maybe at the moment you're kind of saying maybe to everything because you're unable to make this decision, you're unable to make decisions anywhere else. So it's just kind of saying that unfortunately you're still going to be in this situation for a little while longer. So hopefully there'll be a solution for you soon, but for the time being you just have to grin and bear it and just try and weigh up the options as best as possible. Okay, so that was pile 4. Okay, so this is pile 5. We've got worth it, take on the world, let me go. Okay. So I think what this is saying is you're in a situation with someone who needs to be free right now to do their own thing, take on the world essentially, and you know what they say about love: if you love someone, let it go. If it's real love, they'll come back to you, and if not, then it wasn't worth your time anyway. But the thing is, I actually feel like this person is worth it. So if you're in a situation where you're in a relationship and they just want a little bit more freedom, just to go out with their friends or whatever, so you might have kids, or you just don't go out a lot, and they feel a little bit confined, and they're just asking you just to kind of let them go, just have a bit more freedom to take on the world, and then you'll be rewarded essentially with their love and their commitment. Or you could be in a situation where your partner's like that with you, and you just, saying to them, if you let me go, it's in your best interest essentially. But the thing is, they actually want to take on the world with you as well. This again, it taken inspiration from a You Meet Six song called "Take on the World," and the lyrics are, some of the lyrics are, just say the word, we'll take on the world. Just say the word. What is it? Just say you're hurt and we'll take on the worst. So I feel like they're asking you just for a little bit of freedom to do what they want. But, they still want to take on the world with you. Their intention isn't to run away forever. It's just so that they can have their own kind of freedom away from the relationship. But they want to take on the world with you and they want to, marry you. They want to be with you. So the message is not to have fear about letting them do their own thing, letting them go out on their own. It's kind of like when you have that fear about your kids starting school and you're worried, about them growing up and dealing with things on their own, but it's necessary to let them go to figure that out. So what it's saying is just let them go, do their own thing for a while, whether that be, a physical breakup or just allowing them to have a bit more freedom in the relationship. You'll be rewarded. So it's just to let go of that fear, explore the world on your own as well. Like, find new things for yourself. Don't be confined in the relationship either. Don't confine each other. Okay. So, you'll have to let me know, guys, what you think of the cards. I did spend an entire day designing them, and I am hoping to design some more soon. If you want a copy of the deck, if you're really interested, contact me and I can get one sent across to you. But please let me know what you think of the cards, how they relate, if they do work, if they do relate, what, the imagery, etc. I'll be really interested to know your opinions and your views. But thank you for watching today. And now that I've used them singularly on their own, I think I will be connecting them with tarot cards as well to give more significant messages. But thanks, guys, for watching. Take care, and I'll